why don't we talk about Will Smith? Because we haven't talked about Will Smith enough over the course of the past week, right? But there's been a bit more stuff that's been going on, and it happened over the weekend, and I want to definitely touch about it. So, what we did find out here was that Will Smith resigns from the Academy over Chris Rock's slap. And the thing with that is that's good in my mind. That's really good that he resigned. He should have resigned. He should have resigned that night. He should not have accepted that award. Everything else, I don't care. I've seen it. And again, I have my takes on this. I have my takes. Obviously, if you guys have been around, you guys know my takes on this whole subject. I'm not looking to relitigate any of that stuff. But I think that, what consequences are coming, and consequences were coming fast. So it says here that Will Smith, facing possible expulsion or suspension after he assaulted Chris Rock during last Sunday's Oscar telecast, has instead resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. The move comes as the actor embroiled in the gravest crisis of his career, and as the organization behind the Academy Awards has struggled in its attempts to deal with the fallout from the altercation. In a statement, Will called his actions shocking, painful, and inexcusable, and said that he will accept any additional consequences that the Academy's Board of Governors deem appropriate. Saying here, the list of those I have hurt is long and includes Chris, his family, many of my dear friends and loved ones, all those in attendance, and global audiences at home. I betrayed the trust of the Academy. I deprived other nominees and winners of their opportunity to celebrate and be celebrated for their extraordinary work. I am heartbroken. And he acknowledges that his actions overshadowed the other winners at the awards. Here's the thing. It did. Do any of you guys care about Coda winning? Really, do you care about The Power of the Dog winning Best Director? Do you care about this kind of crap? The answer to that is no, you probably don't. This is all we've been talking about. And it's not even going to be fully, fixed, fully settled for another 15 days, which is on the 18th when the Academy gets together and decides the fate of one Mr. Will Smith. So he goes on to say here, I want to put the focus back on those who deserve attention for their achievements and allow the Academy to get back to the incredible work it does to support creativity and artistry in film. Concluding here with, change takes time, and I am committed to doing the work to ensure that I never again allow violence to overtake reason. Fine. It's a fine thing to say. He resigned. Cool. There's still more consequences that are going to be coming down the pipeline, right? Whatever the Academy decides to do. By him resigning, right, what that means is he's just not an Academy member. So he doesn't get a vote on who gets nominated. That's it, right? I think that's it. That's what he's going to be. He's not going to do that. And obviously it's a scenario where, it's that doesn't matter. He's won. Will he win again? Probably not. However, is there going to be consequences to him losing jobs? Well, right now we are hearing that Bad Boys 4 is currently kind of not really doing much. And then you've also got I Am Legend 2. That is something that was announced, a little while back. That's probably going to be pushed to the back burner for quite some time. And then also what you got here is Netflix has backed away from developing Fast and Loose starring Will Smith. But it does go on here to say that David Leitch dropped out before the Oscars. And so Netflix sent an urgent call to find a new director, but have put the project on the back burner since the Oscars. But also, Will Smith is going to be shooting the Emancipation movie, which is, I don't know, he already shot that movie, which I think, or he's doing that right now or whatever. And that's supposed to come out later on this year. And then after that, he was planning on taking a break from acting in general. So they're going to put this stuff on the back burner. Here's the thing. If they were developing Bad Boys 4, if they're doing I Am Legend 2, if they're doing Fast and Loose, right? Let's be realistic here. These are not things he was planning on taking a step back from. These are projects that were going to have fast, active development in order to get out, because he is still young enough to do these movies, and he is still popular enough, or was still popular enough, to bring box office results or popularity to those films or viewing numbers or whatever, however you want to view the streaming stuff. But in the meantime, at this point, he is probably he's probably going to have to take about a couple of years off. Now I have said that, he should probably be expelled from the Academy. And I stand by that. Agree, disagree, that's fine. I don't think he'll be returning to the Oscars. I don't believe that at all. But I do think that he will end up, I don't know if he's going to lose his SAG card. And I don't want him to lose his SAG card. I think if Chris Rock and him work it out, that's a thing. But Will needs therapy. Will needs deep therapy. What he doesn't need are excuses, right? What he doesn't need are people out there excusing his actions, excusing his behavior, saying it wasn't that big of a deal. He doesn't need that. We don't need that. Men don't need that. Because if you think about it, the amount of embarrassment Will might have at the hands of the internet at large are all brought on by his own antics. Like the dabbling in Scientology. That was never fully confirmed. It was always something talked about. But I've heard that they were in it, but then they left it. So it is what it is. But then it's like, okay, fine. They left. That's okay. Whatever. People leave Scientology all the time. Like it's fine. But the red table talk, right? The red table talk is one of those things where, that was bad because that was laying out their dirty laundry. And that was all for Jada, in my opinion, to have control over him. Because, yeah, sure, he was okay with it. Yeah, sure, he was like, okay. But it's like, no, Will Smith, I think, always kind of followed along with what Jada wanted. And as a result of that, they kind of put him in this scenario where something did finally crack. There was a straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, whatever it is you want to say. And then as a result of that, he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. And that might have cost him his entire career. So, we'll have to wait and see. But I think Will has a lot of work to do. And it's going to be therapy. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. I think he'd probably be better off if he took some time to himself, if he separated from his family a little bit. Because I'm sorry, I don't view Jaden, Willow, or Jada as being positive influences around him. I just don't. I never have. Something about them have always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Will, on the other hand, strikes me as the kind of guy who's amiable and just wants to be a people pleaser is what I think it is. And I think that slap was definitely not about Chris Rock. However, Mo Moon here does say, can I have Will Smith's SAG card? Sure. I have no control over that. By all means, take it. If you can get it, you can get it. But there was another quick little side of this too, before we get into the final topic. There was another side of this though, that I thought was really hysterical, is they were asking Mel Gibson about this. This happened on Fox News and just listen to this.
Her career. And I was wondering if, you had been the one that jumped up out of his seat and slapped Chris Rock, if you would have been treated the same way, Mel.
Hello, Jesse. Thank you. That's our time.
Have you ever thought about that?
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay.
That is our time.
Well, Mel, thank you very much for joining Jesse Waters Primetime, and we really appreciate it. April 13th.
I thought this was great because this blew up. In a terminology, some people I saw, like lefties online, were talking about this, and they're saying like, oh, you know what he wanted to say, right? You know the word he wanted to say. Obviously referring to a racial epithet. So the joke I used was, well, you don't know if he was going to say it or not. So until then, it's basically Schrodinger's N-word. But no, I think, look, if it was anyone else other than Will Smith, the reaction would have been different. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I don't think there's a doubt literally in anyone's mind about what would have been expected, what would have happened. Had Mel Gibson done it, he would have been arrested, handcuffed, carted off, and he would be sued for hundreds of millions of dollars, and his whole career would be over, and yada, yada, yada. All right. Because if you remember what happened in 2006 with the Malibu DUI incident, never mind all the other things that have happened with Mel Gibson over the years, a lot of people want him canceled, and a lot of people want him gone. But a lot of people also really love Mel Gibson. And when I say this in comparison to Will Smith, this is not a content of character scenario. What I am referring to is what I'm referring to is like the way that the media handles it, the way everything handles it. I think both men, Mel and Will, need therapy. I think actors need to have a much more grounded approach to life and not insulate themselves as much as they do. And that ends up being a big issue overall. H Bar here says, I'm glad Mel is uncanceled. I mean, we'll see what happens when Lethal Weapon 5 comes out.